they banned every deck. They banned every deck by the nature of the fact that now Ambro and Shield and PTA, all these cards you would play at 3 are now at 2. And Asked Rabbit is at 1. And the Whale himself is at 1. So with every single deck having been banned, what are you to play in Clash now? Well, we got some real fun decks here. I have 5 alternatives for us to look into. We have a Thunderstorm deck, a New Solar deck, a Hestia deck, a Morfrost deck, and Hermes Antitan. So we're going to have a lot of fun today. I think we're going to start with the Hestia deck. The Hestia deck is actually mono fire, which is a lot of fun. If you play Hestia Bestia in paper, the composition of this deck might look a little confusing to you, and that's because a bunch of the good Hestia cards are missing. There's no Hearth in here, which you would usually put in a Hestia deck. There's no Hearth in here, well, because the only card that can utilize it effectively is Warmight Champ. We don't have Ash Rabbit to get the additional value off of it yet. We also don't have some of the other special cast fire Elestrals in Clash yet, like Smokey or Caprigal. So what this deck really focuses around is Kindleo. The new Kindleo champion of Hestia and Leonite champion of Hestia are really good, and so is the original Leonite. Because Thunderstorm is such a popular pick in Clash with the new cards at the moment, if you are on a Thunderstorm match and you drop old Leonite, your opponent can't cast the Invoke Thunderstorm. They can only cast Superdome. A lot of the strategies in Clash right now also feature stadiums. So we have Remocoal. Remocoal is a little bit of an anti-synergy since you have to normal cast it to get the stadium, but the stadium then buffs the new champion Leonite, which gets special protection if it has a little bit of extra attack, which the Volcanic Forge will give it. This deck goes crazy if it goes off. It does not die to just a single piece of interaction because you can usually get 2 bodies on the field in a turn. But if your opponent successfully stalls out your first 2 or 3 turns, you are probably just dead because of how many spirits you spent. You'll also notice there is no Smoltuga for searching in this deck. That is something you could consider. You could consider cutting 1 or 2 Remocoal, 1 or 2 Necruffs, and going for Smoltuga. In my opinion, this deck filters and searches enough that you're going to see enough cards anyway. The Smoltuga isn't super necessary, and then there's nothing to do with the Smoltuga once it hits the field. Oh, we got one so fast. Oh, and we're playing Kindleo. Ooh, is this a fire versus fire match? They look like they're on Frost. Okay, how does this hand look? Volcanic Forge, Necruff, Nectar, Leonite. No back row, but we'll get the back row with Nectar. We'll mulligan at home with Nectar of the Gods. It will be great. Kindleo plus Volcanic Forge is a real good keep in the sense that we do have it online instantly. All right, so let's go ahead and fire the Nectar and see what we can get off the top of the deck. One of my favorite things about this Clash update is that everything feels a lot snappier than it did previously, which is just such a blessing. Okay, so we can go full combo here, basically. We go Hestia, throw everything on her. We then effect for Earth Scout. We'll cast Earth Scout in defense. We have no reason to be aggro this first turn. Earth Scout search. What do we want here? Do we want the other Leonite? We could go Torchin to get a Torch of Hestia. We could go Warmight to threaten next turn. I think we'll go Warmight to threaten, and then we'll normal cast Necruff, and then there's a good chance we get to just drop Leonite on them. So yeah, we'll go Necruff, and we will go Volcanic Forge. Just off of the assumption they're not running a Thunderstorm or something based on their sleeves and field, which I'm probably going to get got by. Okay, so now they'll have a hard time getting over the Pupper. And Earth Scout will also be hard to get over. There's a good chance we simply get to go Kindleo Earth Scout on our turn. Oh no! Disaster! Okay, they're going to pop Hestia here. Yeah, for sure. Oh no! Oh no! It's the mirror match. Okay. I got by the bluff sleeves and field. Kindleo Nexus off of Forge. Then just dies to Cinder. So my only real option here is to go Leonite and hope the back row is a bluff. All right, that back row is real in some way, shape, or form. Preemptive Gorgons, that's interesting. I'm getting got in the Hestia mirror match. Oh, they got the War Might champ. Okay, I think I've just gotten got. Sometimes your opponent has the one of turn one and it's just over. All right, we'll just go game two here. That's disastrous. Torchin, Earth Scout. Yeah, this hand does it. We'll keep that. No back row again, though, really hurts. I'm going to try to mulligan for back row this time. There we go. We got some back row. Back row plus Rummikul. All the back row plus Rummikul. This is a completely different hand, but I guess we'll keep it. Humbust. Okay. We're against Kindleo again, so we know we're in the Hestia mirror once more. Is this Invoke Runes or any rune? I don't remember. Any rune. Okay. So let's not... Okay, so we don't have a way to... Let's do this. Hestia Mill, I think, is going to get us here. Off the top of my head, basically all of their back row is going to stop Rummikul, which is rough. They will almost certainly allow this Volcanic Forge to be fine, because they want us to mill. Yep, we're going to mill, is it 2 or 3 off of Humbus? Let's see here. It's 2, okay. A Gorgons and a Kindleo, ouch. Okay, well, luckily we have a Gorgons. We'll do Gorgons, Shield, and PTA. I don't want to play into Lavalith. And I'm not worried about them milling a couple extra cards next turn. I'd rather protect Rummikul and have a board presence than get shielded. That's fine. We will PTA that so it can't get the Rummikul. We will have to double mill. We'll have 5 mills total from this interaction, but I'm not necessarily worried about decking out here. Lost a Hestia, lost a War Might. Those are both fine. Earth Scout and Necrof. Yeah. Okay, so we lost cards we have a bunch of copies of. I'm not exactly worried about that. More back row. Jeez Louise. Okay. Hopefully we get another guy off the top, because I don't want to just raw cast Kindleo. Yeah, raw casting the Kindleo might be what I have to do. Yep, that's going to be the play, and hope they don't have enough back row to fully stop us from going over the Humbust here. Okay. Okay, so they allow this cast. Getting the Kindleo added back to hand is actually optimal here. It's entirely possible they have 2 shield or a tsunami, both of which does stop us here, but the hope is that it's maybe like a shield and a Gorgons. Okay, so they have a Gorgons. Or do I Gorgons the Humbust here to stop the bleeding? They're going to do that. I am going to Gorgons here. They probably have a shield, but my logic is basically that they've milled me a bunch of times. I don't want to get to under half my deck this turn. So they might not have a shield if they chose to use a Gorgons on Kinleo. What does... Oh! But they can't put spirits on the Humbust because of Gorgons, right? Okay, yeah, that was just a misplay on their part. Cool. Adrillis, yeah, there is a bunch of ways to get Leonite to 9 attack. Volcanic Forge does it, and so does Torch. Both of those options work, which is great. Okay, so we did successfully get their board cleared up and eat a bunch of back row, so I'm feeling much better about our position now. The question is, what is it do they have in hand? Okay, they're going to expend to draw, so they had nothing in hand. Fantastic. Okay, and we have a Necruff now, so we are just going to absolutely flood them with guys this turn. This back row must be fake if they chose not to use it, or it's a PTA they elected not to use because they thought they had the moves to stop me last turn. We'll find out. Okay, they allowed that to go through. That makes me think all of their back row is not live right now. Okay, this is the Hestia-less Hestia game. Both of our decks are on Hestia. Neither of us have seen it. Even if I drew Hestia at this point, I have way overcome the board. Now, the problem is if they draw Hestia at this point, then, well, they're going to drop a bunch of bodies on the board. So we'll see what happens. All right, they're going Warmite. I can PTA it. Yeah, I will PTA this. And drop it to 2. They can still get over the Novacore if they choose. Oh, they picked the Necruff. Oh, because it's target. I could have checked the target. For some reason, I thought Warmite picked on Resolution. Okay. So we actually, we did the pro play here unless they Hearth. Okay, they're going to Hearth. That's fine. Yep. I am totally fine with them spending extra spirits to clear the Necruff. I don't mind that at all because the Warmite's going to die at the end of the turn anyway. Yep, that's fine. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to take 3 damage or 2 damage off of this. Worth taking the 2 damage to keep the back row, honestly. I'm going to lose 2 if I shield it anyway, and then I don't have a piece of back row, so permanently getting rid of the Warmite is the better option here. And now we have Lavalith. So I think the play is Hardison Lavalith, remove back row. Even if that is a Gorgons, we will be fine. And honestly, I don't even care if it is a PTA, because they'll have to pay a bunch to do it. It is a Gorgons. Okay, so they're basically wasting 2 spirits for no value here, which is totally fine to me. It basically didn't matter how that played out. If they didn't play it, they would have taken 2 from direct damage to Lavalith. If they did play it like they did, they paid the 2 for the Gorgons, so it doesn't particularly matter here. But we will just go in with the Kinleo for our 1. And we are in a relatively advantageous position. Even if they drop a Lavalith on us, they can swing over Kinleo, but they can't get our Lavalith, and we have Torch in hand. So we are at the advantage. Okay, they're going Torchin. Torchin for Hestia or Torch? What is the pick here? For Hestia, okay. So they can cast an extra body this turn, if they choose to do so. Okay, but they are not. That's cool. Ambro is pretty good, so we'll go Ambro. We'll get back our 3. We don't have a guy to cast, so we'll go ahead and expend to draw here. Okay, another Rummikle. That doesn't exactly help. I don't want to go into Torch yet, so we will just go Battle Phase. My expectation is that they have a 2-drop in hand that they're trying to get to with Hestia on this coming turn. We're going to make them pay basically all their spirits for that, though. That would be a minimum 4 spirit play. Let us see what they do. Do they have the 4 spirit combo to get a 2-drop out? Okay, we're seeing the Hestia. The other option might be Warmite with a re-enchant or something like that. They have a couple of options here. None of them really get over shield, though. I expect if it was Lavalith, they would have just dropped it, of course. So I'm not worried about that. I think the primary concern... Okay, so they are going to try to go for a double spirit Warmite play, it looks like. We will get them with shield, and that should just be game, though. Oh, they went for the Kindleo. That's really weird, actually. Oh, I see. Why in defense, though? Because I'm going to kill that, right? Ah, because of Liar. I see. That does work. I can do this, though, right? Because 10, 11. Okay, not quite. We do have a line to get over this eventually, just not immediately. Oh, does this mill? Oh, every time an opponent casts an Elestral. I see, I see. Okay. I will have to keep that in mind. I thought I had... Oh, the other Volcanic Forge got milled. That was a horrible misplay on my part, actually. That's fine. I just buffed up the Salishade horribly, but we'll do some filtering here. Yeah, Nog isn't super helpful. Okay. That was a horrible misplay on my part. I think I might have just lost myself the game. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to enchant 2 Elestral. See, if I hadn't messed up with Rummikle, I would win the game now. So that is a real bummer to have messed up that line. How many Ambro do I have in Underworld? Did they mill the other one? 1 Ambro? Okay, I only have 1 Ambro in Underworld. So what we're going to do here is try and get the second one so that we are safe. Oh, Majursa also does it. Okay, awesome. So next turn we drop a Majursa bomb and win the game, basically. We get Bear Effect to pop the Salishade. They get to mill us, but that's fine because we win the game. All right, all right. They almost got us there. We'll swing in with the Majursa. We'll let the Majursa finish it off. All right, the Hestialess Hestia mirror match. That was a lot of fun. We got more decks to look at, though, so we'll move on from Hestia for a minute here. The Morfrost deck. So with the extra Morfrosts added to Clash, basically Morfrost Chimera form just reads draw a million cards all the time. So What you basically do with this deck is establish a board with Morfrost Chimera forms. You can loop Bat with Kione, and you just go incredibly wide, incredibly fast. We play Brummalinks to be able to get Mountains of Boreas or one of two Blizzards. Blizzards are actually fantastic because your opponent can't respond to their cast. Mountains of Boreas makes all of your guys bunguses, and like any Frost deck, you play Cryoling with Cryovern as your backup swinger plan. Okay, we can work with this. Yes, absolutely. This is a full combo hand. So now we get to show off the awesome power of Chimera form. We're going to go ahead and expend and discard this Morfrost to get a Chimera and a Bat. We will drop the Chimera. Chimera effect to discard the Bat. Now we get to draw a card and bring back the Lichen form. Excellent. We'll put a Frost on him. We'll cast him in defense to be safe. We drew another Lichen form, which is hilarious. So we'll go ahead and fire that. We will grab second Bat, and we will grab a Scorpio for next turn to be safe. We will go set shield, set PTA, and I think our opponent just loses the game in this position. We'll see how it goes. So the crazy part about this deck is Kione allowing you to loop Bat means if you have a Chimera in the graveyard, you add back Bat, discard with Chimera, bring back other Chimera, and then potentially draw two. It is quite a crazy way to start the game. Are we going to waste a PTA on a Plucky? No, we're not going to waste a PTA on a Plucky. We have 101 ways to kill this Plucky next turn. I'm not worried about it. They are on Solar, so this is probably a Novacore deck. Apollo, yep. I assume they're looking for a Bat here. We're about to find a lot about their deck from this foretell. Oh, they didn't enchant anything to the Apollo? What? Cool. We got the Kione. Okay. We're going to go absolutely crazy this turn. So how do we want to sequence this? We have another Lichen form. We could go Bat for Lichen form. Get another Chimera. I actually want to spend the normal cast on Brummalinks this turn. So we'll do this. We'll get a Boreas here. Now, I don't actually need to play the Boreas this turn because they have no back row, so I'm not worried about it. So what we're going to do instead is go ahead and discard Bat. Bring back the other Lichen. We got Blizzard. Okay. So we got both Blizzard in grip. That's totally fine. And we will swing in with a full board this turn. It's a good day to be Frost. They sent the emoji, which makes me think that the Apollo don't add any extra spirits was a misplay. Maybe they got distracted and the timer ran down on them. I'm not quite sure what happened there. We shall see, though, because we are hitting them in the face with a whole full board. This is one of those things where it's like, I don't know how you come back from this at this point. We have Scorpio in hand, and we have Kione to bring back Morfrosts to hand, which means Scorpio is always live. So even if they drop Novacore, we can get it with Scorpio, and we have 2 live back row. So there's not a lot of combos that get them out of this position, honestly. The Morfrost engine is just massive value. All right, they have a back row. It is going to eat a Blizzard. They're going with Exaltus. So they're going to go Exaltus, Nexus, and Search. I will just go ahead and kill this in its tracks in case they are trying to go for a Lustragon play, although I expect them to be adding Glimbat. Now, if they want to do the Nexus, they have to do it with the understanding that they're losing the spirit that they invest into the Nexus. Okay, Morphrost too scary. So our Thunderstorm variant is a bit different because while a number of people are playing a Phosphocell line with the Thunderstorm package, the Phosphocell line with the Thunderstorm package is really interesting. I think it's really cool. A lot of the ideas there are basically like you can go Funglow charged, ascend into either Aniscell or Larvacell, and then do the Phosphocell line. I am instead playing a Zeus package with Gryphius. The idea basically being that I'm capitalizing on the burn effects. Brontiglow does burn, Voltimpus does burn. If I have Zeus on field, Voltimpus is protected. So it is a burn citric Thunderstorm deck. We're going second with full combo, so we will keep this. Full combo plus back row is always good. When I say full combo, I can go basically Titano Strike, get Supercell, play Supercell, drop Funglow charge, have a piece of back row. In addition to Zeus, it will be a pretty wild turn. Okay, and they're doing an expend to draw here for a third piece of back row. So now the question is, do I just go for OG Thunderstorm? So they aren't going to win a shield this because I will just simply get more Thunderstorm searches. But they might Gorgons it. Nope. Okay, so we are going to go for OG Thunderstorm here. We'll hit the middle back row. Middle back row, always best back row. A Guardian of Light. Okay. We'll special classed a Funglow. And we will drop 2 back row of our own, and we will see if they choose to do anything to stop our attacks this turn. I'm expecting a Tsunami, maybe a shield. Okay, no. It looks like they're probably just going to let both of these attacks go through and save the back row for something more threatening, which is totally valid. We have the one of Champsy as well, so we are in a pretty position here. They are going to go Plucky. We'll go ahead and Gorgons that. Okay. Temple of the Sun is fine. That prevents Plucky from getting ran over by Funglow, but not much else. Oh, that's really funny. The good old Hardisoned Boombat play. And now we'll hit them for 2. They are probably dropping Novacore on us next turn, though. Okay, so they had a Guardian of Light. Interesting. They just chose not to use it last time. I guess simply because they didn't have enough solar for the full heal value yet. And no interaction this time, which means that last back row is either a PTA or something fake. Okay. Now the fun thing about Boombat is I can just re-enchant it every turn for a new pop, assuming it lives. So we'll see how that works out. It's going to be a Lumaroo. So we will go ahead and PTA that. They will still be able to get over the Boombat, or they can crash with Titano Strike, depending on what they choose. Yep, they're choosing to get the Boombat. That's totally fine. I will mill 3 and then pop the Lumaroo at the end of the turn. All right, that's fine. I don't need any of those cards. I guess we'll drop a Wind Spirit here. Cool. This Titano Strike doesn't do anything in this position. We are ahead overall, so I will go ahead and expend. Okay, cool. We'll bluff set the Zeus just to put some fear into them, and we'll poke them for 1 with Titano Strike again. Novacore off the top will give us a real bad time, but we can just go Titano Strike over 2 turns, or Champ Galaxy. So we got a couple of options here. We also have 4 Thunderstorms left in deck, so there's a possibility we just draw a Thunderstorm off the top, and then we can't Titano Strike Thunderstorm directly. Okay, so they're just hard casting a Exaltus here. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's an interesting move, I guess. Sure. Give yourself a temporary boost to get over the Titano Strike. Why not? Oh, perfect. So what do we do here? I think we go this one. Get a normal Thunderstorm. Oh, Pandora's Box. Okay. That is a totally fine play. I'll hide the Zeus for now, and we'll simply drop our Supercell. Oh, server reboot in 15 minutes. Oh no. All right, we'll have to get this game done. They are like out of cards and spirits at this point, so they got to have something really good in grip there to get out of this position we've put them in. Okay, they have Glimbat. Does that mean they have Novacore, or are they just getting rid of Supercell? Oh, and they're just going to expend to draw. Okay. That is totally fine. Oh, we get an Astrabbit. That's hilarious. Okay. Let's go Aggro Bunny. Aggro Bunny search. Oh, Griffuse is crazy. Griffuse is crazy and funny, but Thunderstorm is what wins the game, I'm pretty sure. Because they can Novacore us next turn. But then we can go Titano Strike, Thunderstorm. Good times. Okay. Plucky, yep. Plucky's cool. Yep, get your Liar, get your Big Bungus. I assume you're going to kill the Astrabbit. Let's see what you choose to do here. Yeah. You going for Rabbit or Titano Strike? Titano Strike, that's fine. Arcolith is very funny. I think we just Arcolith for game, yeah? And then, yeah, we just win now, even without crashing. There we go. Okay, we'll pull up the solar deck real quick. I realized I wasn't actually sharing my screen when I talked about it last time. So this deck takes the principles of the previous solar heal stall and goes ahead and goes harder into solar, replaces Sluggle heal with Guardian of Light heal. No Argo, we simply use, where did my edits go on this? Okay, let's click keep on that. Is it good now? Yeah, so 2 Liar to search with Plucky. No Argo, which seems kind of crazy when you're running Heliolith, but honestly, you see the Liar enough. Apollo plus Solar Burst means that you can pretty safely only Solar Burst when you think you're going to hit. And then it's just solar good stuff. The Thunder package is only 5 spirits, which doesn't seem like enough, but basically the Thunder is the extra spirits I expend whenever until I get down to 2 of them. Quackle can let me get them all back. Sitting on 2 means Arcolith is basically always live. And then, you know, if we get the one of Astrabbit, we get the one of Astrabbit. Going second, this is kind of rough. We can Glimbat for Temple, but then we don't have anything to do with it. So I think we will go ahead and just expend 2 Thunder here and go again. I didn't see what they expended. I'll have to check that at the start of the match. Okay, this hand has no back row, but is playable. We'll keep it. Okay, They expended wind, which tells me little to nothing. Unless they are on Hermes. And they're going to expend to draw for their first turn. Okay. And we got Novacore. That's awesome. So this combo is live as soon as we want it to be. So we're going to start with Apollo, actually, to see if we can do some filtering to help sculpt our hand for upcoming turns. We'll only put 2 on him here, and we'll see what we get off the top. Another Apollo, a shield, and a calf mel. So shield is going to be urgently needed, and we'll draw the calf mel. And I think we don't have quite enough Lunar to justify running out the calf mel right now, so we'll run out Lumaru and threaten them a little bit. See if they want to shield this. They have a response, might be Tsunami. If it's shield, I don't think they bothered to do it on turn 1. It is Tsunami, though. Okay. I am totally okay eating up the 1 back row with Lumaru. All right, what do we see here? Hermes. Okay, so it is Hermes. Are we seeing a... Hermes Antitan is an option. It could be pure Hermes. Hermes into... What would they do here? Hermes into Aviolith for the initial heal, maybe. Follow... yeah. Hermes into Aviolith for the initial heal, which means they're not doing anything else with Hermes this turn. They could have gone carry on or carry off. So that means we're just going to get a normal cast from them here and maybe a back row. A Hydrake. Okay, if they don't set a piece of back row, we're in a really good position because we can just pop the Hydrake with Novacore for no consequence. Yeah, so we drop shield, we go Temple, we go Novacore, we pop the Hydrake so it can't Twindra on us. We don't need to Apollo this turn. Yeah, let's go ahead and Apollo, actually, because there should only be one thing left in that foretell, which is the Apollo, which we don't want to draw next turn. Okay, Ambro's really good, so we'll draw another calf mel and put Ambro on top. And yeah, we'll just hit them for 2 here. Now, they obviously have some really big plays available with Hermes being able to send carry off. They could also send carry, they could send carry on for a free cast. They can send carry off to pop the Novacore, but that costs 4 spirits total, which would put them really low. We'll see which way they go here. Okay, they are going for the carry off for the Novacore pop, which is totally fine. I'm more than happy to let them expend themselves down really low on spirits. We can spend a couple of turns dropping calf mel for them to run over and for us to heal stall out while they continue to spend their spirits if needed. Oh, Pigas pop back row. Yep. We will just attempt to run that over with calf mel, though. Get ourselves down to the 2 thunder there. Okay, so we know we're getting Ambro. We know Apollo is next, and there are 2 unknown cards. So let's see what we find. Apollo, Guardian, Quackle. We'll go Guardian, Quackle. It's a bummer not to have found Solar Flare. But we will just drop a calf mel. I doubt they're going to want to shield this. Oh, they're going to Tsunami. Okay, that's an acceptable play. I don't know how they're going to get over the calf mill now, but we'll see what they do. P-Gust can pop the Temple of Sun, I believe. Yeah. So there is a good chance they re-enchant P-Gust, pop Temple. Okay, so they're going for a carry-on play. Do they have something to ascend to here? Or are they just getting bodies? Interesting. Okay. So they'll hit me for 3. I guess I just Arcolith next turn and see if they have any kind of real answer to that. We have Guardian of Light to protect ourselves and heal back coming up off the top as well. So we're in a pretty good position here. Why did Spinosect activate? What just happened? What? No! Okay, that's dumb. Now I have to use the Ambro to get back my wide game bug. All right. I don't understand what just happened there. See, ideally we could have gone Arcolith, put a bunch of Thunder on it, used one to pay for the Ambro, and we would have been up more on Spirits, but it is what it is. They have a response here. It's likely a Tsunami, but we'll see. Or it's a Trickery. Okay, it's a Gorgons. They chose to Gorgons now instead of on the enchant to myself, which is quite strange, but that's totally fine, honestly. Ah, there we go. Arcolith be Arcolithing. All right. I need you all to listen very closely. I am a bad Hermes player. A literal cat doing biscuits on my keyboard would play Hermes as good as me. That does not mean this deck is bad. You should walk away from watching me play this deck and go, I can do better, and be encouraged to try it. This deck is kind of incompatible with my brain, but I still wanted to show it off. You can now play Hermes Antitan, which is a really kind of crazy deck. Hermes Trickery is an amazing card. You can swap an Elestral you have with one in the underworld, essentially, allowing you to like swap the 2 Spinosects out you have for a double bounce. Because Hermes can drop a carry-on for free, oh, excuse me. Since Hermes can drop a carry-on for free, you can basically go Ardbud, carry-on, Ardvarum, all in one turn super easily. The problem with this deck is every single decision matters so massively. It matters incredibly, and a single wrong decision does just make you not have enough spirits for the play you're trying to do. So it is a very skill-intensive deck, a trait I don't necessarily have, but it doesn't mean it's a bad deck. So I'm going to try and do my best to show this off a little bit without embarrassing Hermes, but keep in mind, I am a bad Hermes player. Hermes is not bad. We did, however, draw both of the bricks in the deck, so we do have to mulligan here. This isn't the best hand in the world, but we will keep this. So we'll go Spinosect in defense, search Hermes. If they don't out the Spinosect, we drop Ardbud, and we do just get 2 full combo into Antitan next turn. We'll get the Hermes. We're not going to play the Hermes this turn. We're just going to bluff set Divine Blessing. And hope our opponent doesn't have a turn 1 out to Spy Nymph. So basically next turn, we can do a couple of things. We can go Hermes, send Carry-On, cast it for free, pop it with Ardbud, get Ardvarum, search something like Viscerus or Hopperoo, and then pop the Spy Nymph to go into Antitan. The problem is the Antitan is then not protected, but that's not necessarily a bad option. Okay, our opponent saw the One of Asked Rabbit. That's pretty cool. We won't be able to use the one of the protection of Antitan, but we will be able to use its pop because we'll have cards in hand. So a Zeus, that is an interesting choice. You're just raw throwing a Zeus down for funsies. So if they don't drop any other back row, I think we do just go full Antitan combo, pop the Zeus, and kill the rabbit. Okay, Zeus for Zeus's call. That makes more sense. What are we getting here? Are we getting a Griffuse, a Sparkit? We got Titanostrike. Okay, so Hermes is in immense danger. Just massive amounts of danger. Oh, we drew the Spinosect. That's not what you want to see. That's fine because we're not going to leverage it. We're going to go Ardbud. Ardbud, we'll get a Viscerus here. We'll get the good Viscerus. Where's the good Viscerus? We'll get good Viscerus. Now, this is actually going to, when this Spinosect is from your deck, from your field or deck. Okay, so sent from hand doesn't count. That's unfortunate. But we will go Hermes with 1 wind. We will put all of the wind on here, basically, even though we know they have Thunderstorm to threaten it with. We will disenchant to send Carry On. We will get our free Carry On. We will pop the Carry On to get our Dvarum. Make sure it's properly enchanted there. We will go search for a Hopperoo. We'll then destroy our own Spy Nymph to go Antitan. There it is. With another Earth. Perfect. All right, so we got to do Hermes and Titan full combo. We can now pop their board. We will discard Carry On. Whoa, what? And Titan full combo takes too long, apparently. That's freaking miserable, man. Are you for... I'm so mad about it. I didn't even attack the ass rabbit. I was just so tilted. All right, I gotta report that in the Discord. This is miserable. So we summon Hopperoo, make Antitan not targetable, pop the back row, pop the Zeus, do what we were going to do last turn. It'll be fine. I actually think we go Viscerus here. Let's go Viscerus. Antitan's now untargetable, so you can't Gorgons it. Is that a preemptive Gorgons on the Antitan? It is. Yeah, miserable. We'll do this. We'll Play a Divine Blessing. Put a bunch of wind back on Hermes. We'll go ahead and kill the rabbit with Carry Off just to be safe, even though that's a little unnecessary. Oh, it's the number of spirits on it? I thought it was the enchanting cost. Okay, that actually sucks. Whatever. We'll poke them for 1 with Viserys. What a frickin' bummer. Okay, there's a good chance we still win this game. I'm just so incredibly bummed about running out of time with Antitan. We'll kill this. Get another Viserys. Holy crap. I can't believe I'm losing this game to Voltempest because I timed out turn 1. I'm so tilted by this. All right. That was freaking miserable. I think maybe the lesson here is that actually Antitan Hermes full combo doesn't work right now because the timer is unkind. Maybe if you're a little more proficient at it than I am and you don't have to pause to think and you know where to exactly click in the deck instead of having to scroll through it a couple of times for your searches, you can do it. But woof, that was rough. That was real rough. Well, that was 5 decks you can play in the new Clash meta. I really love the new Clash meta overall. The Thunderstorm stuff is really fun. The Solar stuff is really fun. The Hestia stuff is massively fun. I hope you get some fun deck ideas, and I'll hope to see you casting around, my fellow casting clashers. Until next time.